there's a lot of interest in moving to a more modern system, something that's a little bit more manageable, more efficient, particularly in terms of getting earlier production and kind of hitting our peak production earlier. So I think that there's still some research that needs to be done before I can say it's time for growers to migrate to a new system. What we're looking at is getting earlier production. We know with apples, where we go to high density systems, we can bring them into production in just a few years and hit optimal yields in a very short period of time. So that obviously is a big issue with tart cherries, where you're 6, 7, 8 years out from getting into production and maybe 10 or 12 years from hitting peak production. So getting up to full production quickly, which means that we can replant an old unproductive orchard and have it back into economic production quickly. I think that's one of the issues. Another issue is maybe improving fruit quality. At this point, we don't differentiate in fruit quality in tart cherries, but if we have a different system where we get a higher quality fruit quality being measured by fruit sugar, color, firmness, all those things that play into whether it's being dried or processed in any other way, then fruit quality becomes an issue, and maybe we can do that. I think there's some other potential benefits in terms of pesticides. When we're trying to control whatever the insect or disease pest is, we can potentially get more efficient control, less environmental impacts, less non-target pesticide exposure if we go to a tree that's easier to uniformly treat than, say, a large old tree like we're typically used to. So one of the challenges that we have in our climate is that we have very alkaline soils, and we've seen a lot of development in rootstocks in other fruit crops, like peach, for example. We have a lot of problems growing peach on the traditional rootstocks in Utah because of our soil type. And as new rootstocks have come into the market in the peach industry, some of these have been very well adapted to our soils. And the tart cherry industry throughout Utah, and I think even here, is primarily based on Mahaleb rootstock. And I think having some different rootstocks come into the marketplace that give us some opportunities to adapt the tree to different soil types could be a real big benefit as well.